everyone's optimizing something right now. Like it could be gym, the skin routine, the outfit, the jawline, and everyone insists it's not about vanity or their appearance or like how they want to be perceived as to others. It's discipline, it's self-respect. I do it for myself. Like it's just becoming the best version of myself. I say that too as well, by the way. I'm not like exempt out of this. And I've said that sentence to myself and others in the mirror more than and I'd like to admit. But like here's the question I keep circling. Like why does looking better feel so urgent? Like when getting better at literally anything else, patience, judgment, how well you listen to another person doesn't carry the same panic. Like I think I finally have an answer and it's not the one I expected. I don't think it's vanity at the root of it. I think it's uncertainty, or more precisely, our complete inability to sit inside uncertainty without needing to resolve it immediately. So let me break it down. Like, think about what getting better actually means depending on the domain or field. If I go to the gym for 6 months, I know it's someone, with something close to mathematical certainty, but I will look different, The mirror doesn't lie to me, doesn't misunderstand my intentions, like doesn't require a relationship to interpret the result, input, output, result clean. Now, like think about becoming a better person, kinder, wiser, more compassionate, more emotionally honest. Like there's no mirror for that. There's no quantifiable things that you can measure. So the only instrument that can tell you whether you've actually changed is another person, through another person, their perception of you, their willingness to trust you, their reading of your character over time. And that's the part that terrifies us, I think, because it means that the result isn't in our hands. You cannot control it. You can do everything right internally and still be misread and misunderstood easily by outside. Still be misunderstood and still lose. So we retreat to the domain where the outcome is guaranteed, the result is at least quantifiable and easy to read, which is aesthetics, like becomes the addiction of the certain. And like there's this idea I keep coming back to. I think it's from Kierkegaard. He's a Danish philosopher. Sorry if I mispronounce his name. Like though I'm still working through him and I won't pretend I've got the whole articulate architecture that a life moves through stages. Like the aesthetic stage where you live for sensation and appearance, chasing whatever feels good or looks good in that moment. Then the ethical where you commit to something beyond the moment, values, duties, disciplines itself that holds together over time. And then in through his framework, which I do not fully agree on, the religious, which I'll be honest, like again, I don't fully buy into as he frames it. It feels less like how do I say, like transcendence to me, and more like trading one kind of certainty for another, just like relocating the guarantee from your reflection to a religion, like to a god. But the aesthetic stage part, the one I recognize immediately in myself, is basically every guy I know who's certainly, I mean, who currently locked in because the aesthetic life isn't shallow because people are shallow. Like it's shallow because it's legible. You can measure it, you can screenshot it, you can know without the ambiguity, like whether it worked or not. And I think this hits men differently than it hits women for reasons I don't fully understand, but have noticed enough to trust. So I think men are more visually wired, rightly or not, and I think there's something almost unbearable for a lot of guys about the idea of building a life around a version of themselves that can't be verified by looking in the mirror. A woman, I think, can more easily hold two contradictory things. Like he's not conventionally attractive, but I genuinely love who he is. Like without that feeling like self betrayal. I don't think most men can do that in reverse with the same is the same case. I mean with the same yeah case. Not because we are incapable of loving someone for their character, because we can't fully let go of the visual as one of the load bearing walls. So I'm not saying that's virtuous. I'm just saying I think it's true, and I think pretending otherwise is its own kind of dishonesty. And here's the thing, though, like, and this is the part that I actually wanted to get to. The same logic applies to how we how do I say how we choose who to let into in our lives. So like getting to know someone slowly, or getting a friendship or relationship and trust over months instead of minutes is unbearably uncertain. You don't know if they're going to turn out to be someone else entirely once the performance wears off. You know, like everyone's wearing some version of a face in the beginning, and it takes real time, the boring, unglamorous kind, like to find out who's actually behind it. And a lot of us just don't want to sit in that not knowing, uncertain phase. So we shortcut it. Like we decide, consciously or not, that if someone is beautiful enough or impressive enough on the surface, the uncertainty is worth the risk, because at least the surface is guaranteed. Like at least that part won't disappoint us. And we commonly I commonly hear this thing from like this kind of things outside, from like between dudes, where you say like, oh, like you've been whipped. I mean, completely. Do we say whipped? I don't know. Like, so this guy's been he's been sacrificing his time, effort, and everything, money, but this girl is just friend zoning him and kind of, you know, pulling back, and every single time he steps one goes in one step, she kind of pulls back, but doesn't let go completely. So, but like if he's been friend zoned for like years by this girl who's really beautiful, then they just jokingly say, dudes would jokingly say, "Oh, it was worth it," like because she's hot, she's 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 baddie, which I don't think it's the case, but you get what I mean. And like which is like when you say it out loud, like it's an insane trait. Like you're taking the one thing that's basically guaranteed not to change your life, like being near someone attractive, and using it to buy your own, like your way out of the discomfort of actually not knowing someone. Like it's not really about them, it's about needing something solid to hold on to, while everything else about another human being remains unknowable, like uncertain again. So I've caught myself doing the exact same thing, what I'm describing, like choosing the harder, more uncertain, more awkward pursuit of someone I barely know over the person right in front of me, who I could actually build something real with, like slowly, because slow is unbearable, and the awkward pursuit at least has a clean, visible object to chase. Like that's not romantic. That's just avoidance wearing a nice outfit. So, and I think like this is also why people, like just in general, like people who feel insecure about how they look are often the loudest ones, insisting looks don't matter. Not because they are lying exactly. I think some of them mean it, like, but because I think a lot of them know the math doesn't favor them in that game, in this particular game, this dating market. So they needed to not be the game being played. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I don't say that to be cruel. I say it because I recognize the instinct in myself as well. It's easier to declare scoreboard like illegitimate. It's illegitimate. Like we don't play this, than to admit that you're behind it. So like I don't think the answer is to abandon the aesthetic stage entirely. I don't think no one can actually do it, since we have eyes. Obvious. I mean, not like some people, except for like very majority of people. I mean, how do I say, like 5% of people, I guess. And that feels like its own kind of like denial, pretending the body and the surface don't matter, when clearly, like demonstrably, they do, at least a little, like at least in the beginning. But I also think the actual work, the thing that's genuinely hard, worth achieving, I mean worth, yeah, worth pursuing and virtuous, is the thing worth like respecting, is like staying in the room with the uncertainty of another person long enough to find out who they actually are. Not because the surface doesn't matter, like doesn't count, because it's not the only thing that does, and we all know, but like it's definitely not the thing that lasts. And Aristotle, one of my favorite philosophers, talked about a kind of friendship, like friendship of virtue. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Like he called it where you love someone for their character and they love you back for yours, and neither of you is extracting anything from the other. Like no performance, no leverage, just two souls, two characters who've actually seen each other. And I think that requires tolerating a lot of not knowing to get there, like long stretches where you don't have proof yet, where nothing's guaranteed. But despite all that, two people just keeps risking their time and effort to get to know more about this person. And I think that's the real trade every one of us is making in real life, like whether we admit it or not. Certainty now or depth later. And I don't think that's like there's a clean answer for which one is right. I just think that it's worth being honest about which one you're actually choosing, instead of dressing yourself up it as something that you completely are not, or like you just feel like you just want to like get this image of like something that will be perceived a lot more nobler than you actually are. And like that, I really don't think that I again have a solid answer for this, but I think the conclusion is that sitting with certainty really hurts, and every single time I do it, it like at the moment, it feels like I'm going through something wrong. You're feeling awful. You feel like I don't know what I'm doing in the first place. Like, is this the right thing? You just want to lean over. You just want to do the things that comfort you immediately at that moment, and you just want to lean into that since it's visible, or like it might be quantifiable, or it's just something that you do every single day out of habit. But the thing is, every single time I take this path of uncertainty in person, like in people or in the things that I do every single day, I just get rewarded within a week. I'll say, like, I guarantee you within a week. And if you consistently do this for a week, then you'll get rewarded the whole month. I think that's just how it goes. You be your own servant. How do I say? You serve yourself for the future self. I would say this kind of became like a productive video, but I really didn't mean to it. I just wanted to share this point of view that we all are kind of in a sense looks maxes like naturally, and that really is about it in this video. Thank you guys for listening and have a nice day.